Hi guys. Just coming on. I can't. My throat's not working yet. I'm just coming on to do like just a straight psychic reading for you. Um, I can see the live chat. If someone has like a question, I can answer it for you. I'm just gonna try to set some good energy and kind of just read whatever I can, like from the collective. Um, and so that if you watch this at any time, like it'll be effective. So I'm just gonna send some good energy to people watching. And yeah, so hopefully that'll like open up your ability to receive good messages and stuff and feel a bit lighter in your emotions and you won't feel so burdened and stuff. I'm sorry, there's a lot of street noise at this new apartment. Um, I have my window closed, but you can still hear a lot of cars, so I can't really stop. All right. So I just feel like the main energy I'm getting is like a lot of like kind of masculine feeling fear, and it's kind of like if you think of fear and faith as like two roads you can walk or drive on, and it's like, why am I on this road? Like, why am I following fear? Like, where does it take me? It doesn't really take you anywhere good. So you just kind of have to, like, I'm going to take this metaphor from there, like, put onto the shoulder and, like, stop that momentum of where you were going and, like, your thought process and just be like, like some people think that being still is like a waste of or like not doing anything is a waste of your time. But if what you were doing was the wrong thing, then actually stopping is like the best thing you can do. And especially if you're like hounded with questions and overwhelmed and stuff. So like if you're overwhelmed, that means that like every step you're taking in the wrong direction is like one more pound of burden that you're carrying with you. And it's like, how much more data do you need to like change what you're doing? So just like in an argument or something, like instead of going back and forth, like you did this, you did that, whatever, saying nothing is like not making it worse. you know, and you might just, if someone needs to know why you're being quiet, you could just be like, I need some time to think so that I can give you the answer that you need. You know what I mean? Like, so that you frame it in a way that like makes them feel honored, right? And considered. So, but then you've also bought yourself some time to like, like stop the momentum and of the bad direction and stuff. And you don't have to beat yourself up about going down the wrong direction because we learn every time we do anything, right or wrong, it helps us fine tune what we like what's important to us. So like dating the wrong people can be very useful in helping us refine like what we truly want. Um, so don't beat yourself up about it. Like your main job is like sending love and like support to yourself because like no one else can really do that 24/7. And if you're asking other people to do that, it's like exhausting for them to like help themselves and you 24/7. So it's like really something you need to embrace, like being conscious in your own mind and like taking responsibility for all your choices whether it's like who you're married to or what, that candy bar that you got or whatever. Like you you have to be like, I chose this. I honor myself in that choice that I made, right or wrong. Where do I want to, who do I want to become? Is this like resonating with who I want to be? Does this chocolate bar support who my greatest dreams? So you kind of have to like leave the things and the people, who do not align with like what you're really supposed to do. Like, you have like, so, like if you have children and stuff, you have a responsibility to like make sure they're okay and everything. Um, and like give love and support to them. But like, let's say a toxic partner or something like that, like every day, like you have to take responsibility for what you're like the efforts you're putting forth towards that and like whether it would serve both of you better, like not to be in that relationship or um so back to the two roads, it's like the fear road. Now we've like pulled over on the shoulder and we're going like we're just being quiet, sitting in the car being quiet, and it's like you're hearing the wind and the birds chirp and stuff and like other cars like zooming by and stuff. And you're just doing nothing. You're not thinking, you know, you're just being in that moment. And it's like that's kind of more like how you want to live your life instead of just feeling like you're being forced down this tube of like some direction you took that is like you don't feel like you have any control over instead. Like every single moment of every day, we have the choice to like see the world differently. And so I just want you to feel like it's not just one road that you're stuck on, like there's a whole world of options. And while you can focus on the negative, you also have the choice of focusing on like what's beautiful. So it's like, well, how about I drop thinking about like, aspects of my job or aspects of my relationship for a moment or my health or whatever. Like you could be in a really bad position right now. And from that point, like love yourself up so much and go like almost think like you're looking back at yourself from 20 years from now and going like, oh my God, remember when I was like in this position and I chose to be optimistic and I chose to see the good things, the good choices I made. Like I did an assessment in a non kind of emotional way of like good things I did and bad things I did. And it's like, okay, well, the bad things didn't really help me out. So I learned from that, and like the good things did like major upgrades and that was fantastic. So like without the step of like beating yourself up about stuff, romanticize this moment of like right now, looking back to it like 20 years from now. I know it's complicated, and just go like, oh my God, that person who was in that position took that one like baby step towards something positive and like my whole life changed. So you can make like even the tiniest choice to do something different that is good, that honors like who you truly are, like inside, and it will right. It's like literally like going from walking this way to like walking this way, and it's that little adjustment, if you know anything about geometry, like will take you somewhere else, like completely somewhere else. And the longer you go down that path, the further and further away you get from like where you were going before. And if you do it like, gently at your own pace, but with determination and focus, like you can do it. Like, like if you compare living, like doing the wrong thing and feeling like crappy every day, like if you think that like doing something positive for yourself is like harder work than that, like you're wrong. It's really hard work staying in like bad energy and like in the worst circumstances. It's like and being that person that's accepting like all the criticisms and burdens of others, like that is so staying put is so much more work than just like taking a step towards something you're into, like I'll choose for example in my life, like I just like it was kind of always like bugging me in the back of my mind. It's like I should try stand up early because I appreciated some things about stand up that it contributes and like for the performer and for the audience and just whatever. It's like an interesting discussion and stuff and format. So I was like, okay, it was on my bucket list to like do that. And then I was just, there's like never a good moment. It's because it's like always going to be really awkward doing something new where no one knows you and like who even knows what's going to happen. So I was just like, you know what, like I'm just going to do it to do it. And I'm not going to do it like, oh my God, I got to do like an amazing job. Or my only thought was like, I'm just going to do this. I'll prepare something, but like I'm not pressuring myself to be awesome, and I don't need people to like think it's like funny or anything. I'm just gonna experience it, right? And so, but the fact is, like I took that step towards it, and it did make kind of a shift, and like it did boost my confidence that like I can step into something new and not and actually feel better for doing it instead of like dealing with that lingering thing like try it, try it, try it. That thing is gone. So it's like it's worse to not step towards your passions and your dreams because you're carrying that kind of like Santa sack of like dreams and wishes. But if you just like one by one go through them and go like, okay, I tried this, or like let's say you want to meet someone new and you want to kind of upgrade the type of people you're dating, more reflecting like what's your wish, like you just sort of allow yourself to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be kind or friendly or what, however PC way of like uh, approaching someone uh, like, doesn't get you into trouble. Like you're just like I allow myself to like talk to or meet the people that I actually want to date. Yeah. And even if the first person you encounter like rejects you, it's like, wow, I entered that world of talking to the types of people I want to know. And like just taking that step, even though it wasn't like a success, helped you and it relieved some of the burden of your passions and your dreams that like are making you feel overwhelmed. So it's like all about like how can we lighten our load? How can we like stop just like bulldozing down like some random path that like we didn't really choose? So part of that is like embracing the power of like stopping and not thinking, and letting that thing that we were just doing like without thought, like without like purpose, I mean, uh just come to a halt and just feeling like what is it like to feel like being me in this moment, you know? Do I even want to hang out with me right now? Like, am I a cool person? Like, how can I be more myself and like enjoy this life that I've been, this gift of life, And like, how am I seeing the world and like, why am I seeing it that way? And can I find a corner of my consciousness where I have appreciation for stuff and I know that there's magic in every moment if I allow myself to be like that person, I'm just gonna read this comment because I got glasses on. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I'll just go one at a time with these questions. So busy P, is there a reason sending people like twin flame? I mean, my hunch when you mention this person is like I wouldn't categorize them. Let them earn the title of twin flame instead of guessing that they are. Like, and I would say that like my impression is that like a twin flame would be someone who kind of is incapable of being cruel. Like they can like spend time away from you and stuff, but I don't feel that like they would be someone who would be what like bad, you know what I mean? Um it's very like loving of you to give them that much credit as to like call them like part of your soul, half of you. Um and that just isn't it um is just like verification that like you're a very loving and accepting optimistic person, and that's like to be applauded. I feel like this person is just like a very materialistic, determined person who wants to just like lock stuff down. So if they're like inquiring about you and like having people like follow you, is that what you said? Yeah. Um, I wouldn't consider that person like a twin flame. I would have like higher standards for what you want to attract. Like there, like let's say this person is like like I'm gonna assume it's a guy just for my own sake because it's just whatever. This is easier for me to just focus on like one like I'm picking up a masculine energy, so I'm just gonna roll with that and call this person a guy. But okay, you know how like guys can be like hot and like appealing and memorable and all that stuff, but that doesn't make them like suitable for you or a good person or you know someone like if you think of relationships as like a corporation and you're like who is going to be my vice president of this corporation who's I can go away on vacation and they're not going to pick up my whole business and they're not going to like spend all my money and party on my desk and whatever like I don't feel like this guy can be your vice president is what I'm feeling. So if you wouldn't hire him to work at your job, why would you just decide like this guy's my twin flame? So what I would do is like go back to basics and be like how back to like the inner masculine feminine like the marriage within you. And it's like how much am I loving myself? Like how do I love myself and like and then what message does that send to the world? So you really and don't think of it as like lonely, like boring work. It's actually like you'll be so grateful for any time you spend doing this, and then you'll almost be like, "Why am I spending time with someone else?" Like, 'cause, like, I'm so good to myself, and I'm getting all the stuff done that I love, and it's like, I'm just like, you know, um, people compliment the work that you've done, right? So, I would just like relax this notion of that person being your twin flame and remove the drama aspect and just be, and I think if you align yourself more with yourself and with the universe, then you'll kind of sidestep a lot, like a layer of bullshit that will just be lower than you. You know what I mean? It just won't be attracted to you anymore because you're not part of that game. That's my advice for Busy Pete. Okay. Can I? Okay, so Ashna Manny, can I please know about my and my husband's future together? Okay. I feel like you overthink and it's causing like more kind of being, easy, and there's a certain amount of like even, I mean, I ask questions about relationships too all the time, so I'm guilty of this also. But there's a certain amount of like having faith, that is very powerful. Just like I was saying, like where you pull the car over on the road and just like stop the momentum of whatever you were kind of rolling with that wasn't making you happy. So there might be some aspect of overthinking that has created some momentum that's not making you happy, and it's actually stealing your attention from the moment. These being in the present moment with your husband and just listening to the birds of that moment, like, and like what are the, what does it smell like? What is the sun shining? Is like, is there like, how does he feel? Like, what does it feel like to be you, and what does it feel like to be him in that moment? And just like get more into like receiving than like a mental kind of masculine space of like searching for data, you know, um, and like being on alert for danger or something like that. Like if you're looking for danger, you're gonna find it for sure. If you're noticing peace and love, that will grow. It's like what do you wanna have? And you really have to put like the pressure on yourself to choose well. Like you're designing your life. You're not just like a victim of life. Like you're designing it with where you put your like love and attention to. So like depending on where you put your focus will be the outcome of the future of your life together. So it's really like on you. Uh okay, love heart. Can I get your insight if I'll find love with, okay. I don't feel like this person is a good choice for you. Like just because someone is charismatic doesn't mean they're like someone great to align yourself with. Like you'd be surprised what your best compliment would be. Like maybe it would be someone who's like way quieter or like, who is super dependable where you don't even have to like think at all day about like what are they doing, who are they talking to, like it what truly compliments you at this time, like what gives you peace, like with peace it's like all the stupid thoughts like just drop and you're able to enjoy the view. I mean, so like you can just be glad that you know some cool people and you're interested in you have friendships and stuff. But some friendships are like frenemy friendships and some like hot guys are like like life lessons are wrapped in what we find attractive, otherwise we'd never learn those lessons, right? So, like, just know that, like, what's in this, like, those boxes where, like, the lid opens and it's, like, this clown appears, like, it's like, each relationship kind of is, like, one of those, whether it's, with a friend or, like, a love relationship, so it's like, what kinda clown is this nail guy gonna pop up and become, like, is it really to your benefit and stuff, so I would just, like, take a moment to just, like, maybe, like, for I feel like 4 hours, like, 3 to 4 hours, whatever you can, like, stomach, like, be strong to, like, not be texting people and stuff and go, like, what I was saying before, like, what does it feel like to be me? Do I like myself right now? Like, where do me and myself wanna go today with being me, you know? Instead of, like, just, instead of being like a vampire and going around like, who has this thing that I want? You know what I mean? It's like you have all the tools inside you to be like as awesome or as lame as you want to be. And it's like, do you want to like find that in here, or do you want to like waste most of your life like going around taking it from other people who like seem to have it? Okay, so that's my advice about that. Sorry for me being like unromantic about that, but, like, I think that loving yourself is, like, a better starting point right now. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, love heart, I don't know if you guys are still watching because 'cause I'm taking forever to answer, but I'll just, like, try to go quicker. Okay, busy P. Don't leave me alone. Health issues. Well, I mean, I would like, first of all, don't call them your twin flame, like I was saying. And also, if you feel that like something illegal is going on, it's not unreasonable to like you're not calling 911, but you're calling like the office of the police and going like, hey, I, maybe you can give me some advice. Like, this is happening, and what does a person do in my position to go about this properly if it's really a problem, and I'll leave it to you, the police, to tell me like what you consider a problem, what you don't consider a problem, and then I'll know if one of these things that's happening is like a problem that you can address. You know what I mean? Because like we pay taxes, so it's like they are supposed to act on our behalf, like to solve some of these problems that are not for us to solve. So the best thing to do with like illegal stuff is to write like a factual diary with like dates and times. It's like, so then if you need to talk to police or a judge, you have like this diary of like stuff that happened. And to them, that's like gold. Like even though you think like it was just me writing stuff down, like it's like so relevant in a courtroom or law situation, right? So just like keep a diary of like what you feel like is going on, and you're also validating your feelings and what's going on, and then you can say like even if you need to go back in time and like say like this happened, that happened approximately at this time or whatever, and then you can write down the names of the people that like are following you and stuff, and for how long, and from where to where, and whatever. And then you can, when it comes time to actually speak to someone at the police, like at their office, you can just go through this data. So, like, if you're feeling like nervous or choked up, it's like you just read the pages instead of doing that. And that's really the only way to solve that problem. So it's like no longer your problem, it's like the city's problem, because these people are not acting correctly, and then there's a reason why the police exist to like help you with that. So just please don't feel alone. Like there's a lot of services that, and I wouldn't take it to like a social worker or something. It's like if someone's following you and it's harassment, that's like breaking the law. Okay. Um, Space vibes. Okay. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, thank you for loving my energy. You can ask a question. I'll just see. Okay, there, you wrote a question. We'll just skip to that. And then I'll go back to the one after that. Am I on V's mind? I don't feel that you're on V's mind. And I mean, either that means that they're really good at compartmentalizing and like just focusing on what they need to do at that moment, and they're not just like daydreaming at work, let's say. Um, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, I feel like they have a positive view of you. Uh, I feel like you shouldn't overthink it too much and just continue with your glow up, and I feel like you have a good self-appreciation, and you seem like to have like a healthy, like I feel like there's a physical health you have when I tap into your energy. And yeah, just continue being authentic, like optimistic, like don't share your doubts and fears with people. Try to stay in the present and just appreciate that moment for what it is. And then when you're out of that moment, appreciate the next moment that you're in. And just be kind of like the image I get is like like a monkey or a orangutan, like not I guess it was a monkey. Just like swinging from branch to branch. Just like, okay, I'm on this branch, this is fun, this is a cool tree, and then like now you're on another tree, and it's like you're not forgetting the people that you love. They're just not like on your screen at the moment. Like just be like, that was great. Like that each moment like reverberates eternally. So like nothing is lost. Like don't feel like that sense of loss or something if you're not like always up in someone's grill. So I just feel like have faith and let them enjoy having a moment where you're not on their mind. If you can. Just be a bit lighter about it. Like I feel like you're a cool person, so don't sweat it so much. Okay. Ashna Manu. Yeah. Is this like back on another question? Oops. Sorry. Oh yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, I feel like I was saying, Ashna, before, like you're overthinking. Like, are you the one starting these arguments? Why? Like, if you think of your relationship, like, let's say you're compare your relationship. This is a weird comparison, but like to like a mall, okay? And it's like, who's gonna shop at this mall? Like your relationship mall. Like all the stores are like disorganized and like hectic, and then all the staff is rude, and like what's even in here? Like you have to really curate your mall. Like it's like my mall is like surprising and creative and like high end, but then like there's also like maybe like booths where you can get lunch for like $3, but it's like awesome, and like this friendly grandma works there or whatever. Like it's like just like really think about like what am I offering my husband here and what are we creating? And you have to know that when you speak, when you're in the same room with your partner and you're talking to them, you're creating this mall or like this vibe that you are responsible for. Like if something is shitty, you're either responsible for staying there or contributing to the shittiness. So constantly like be in that state of like I'm the architect of my life. Like I'm responsible for making this beautiful. You could choose, even though you fought for like the last month or 5 years or whatever, you can choose to be like, that's, my life is about peace and harmony. So like, I'm gonna like focus on that and not the details of the past and not what he's even really saying or anything. Like, I'm controlling the environment. So it's like, I'm gonna have a beautiful dinner tonight. I'm gonna like live my best. I'm gonna appreciate the person before me because that's how cool a person I am. Like, and it's gonna be nice. And like, I'm in control of that. And if somebody wants to like start something up, it's like, I don't get triggered. I don't have a bunch of like light switches all over my body triggering my emotions and my physical reactions or whatever. Like, it's just like clean that kind of thing off and just be like, I like being happy. So what I do in my life is gonna be like that vibe. You know what I mean? And you're responsible for making your own life happy. And if like your husband had a hard day at work and he's tired of you bothering him, he's not to, like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's the position you guys got yourself to now. But you can, in a second, change your whole life. Like, just like I said before, like pulling over onto the side of the road and just stopping the momentum of being like horrible. And just like listening to the birds for a second, just tune into him, like just relax, and stop being so critical, and stop like vomiting the past all over your husband. He married you, so he wants it to work too. He thought there was like part of you that had some sense, right? So like show that you have that sense by being like controlling the vibe of your daily life with them, and that vibe is precious, so that then when they come home, they know your home is a temple of love and bullshit has no chair at the table. Anyway, so I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. Queen G. Would I be able to ask what is next for me in the resume? Okay. Sorry, my eyes are always like, I'm not actually crying. My eyes always want to tear and stuff. Maybe I think it has to do with wearing glasses and stuff. Okay. Anyway, okay, so, and wearing eyeliner. Okay. So, okay, wait. Okay. What's next for me in love? Queen G. Okay, I'm gonna tune. I feel like you're really funny and like charming and stuff. So it's easy for you to attract people, interested parties and stuff. I feel like if you like guys and stuff, I feel like you like strong guys who like care about their appearance and stuff. So I feel like your mind is like more wanting to attract someone like that who's very like earthbound and like you know. So I don't feel like you're looking for like the person to solve like all like who has like the entire wheel of like perfect personality traits, like spiritual driven, like whatever, like volunteer work. you know so maybe this person is just like hot and like strong and whatever. So I feel like someone like that is like on deck. Like if you're asking like what's next in love, of course you can change that and upgrade that based on how you feel about yourself and like things you love about yourself and like things that would complement you. And then if you slightly alter like that kind of vibe that you're putting out, then of course someone else will feel called in. So you're always capable of like adjusting who you're attracting. But right now you're attracting like really like handsome, strong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. So thanks for liking my glasses. These glasses, like I like them. These are Yves Saint Laurent frames, and I like them, but they leave like little red marks on my nose. And these other ridiculous glasses I used to wear before don't do that. So like I'm on the fence, but I'm like I bought them, so obviously I like them. But thank you for high fiving that. And then bright. Okay, wait. I'll just like follow up on Queen's question. Do you see a relationship soon? Yeah, like I don't feel like the guy that you're pulling in right now is like he's. I feel like he's like a something casual, enter kind of guy. And it's like that person is like 6 years away from settling on someone. Okay. Relationship. So I feel like there's someone you could be in a relationship with who is like a lawyer or like someone you would meet like not online. Let's say you go and have like a patio, like here in Montreal they call them terrace, like whatever. I guess in the States and stuff it'd be like a patio, a restaurant outside. um, okay, so like type of person who would be having like a $15 or more lunch on a patio wearing a suit or like kind of thing. So like don't be shy. I feel like you should not be shy. If you see someone you like who looks professional like that, really put together, maybe even like what you would be like, I'm like, is he out of my league? Like that kind of thing. Like you just approach them. And if it's not him, it's gonna be like his best friend. You know what I mean? It'll lead to something good. But it could he might even be in a relationship, but like you don't have to like jump on him immediately. Like you can become friends, and then he's like, who are you? And then he's thinking to himself, like, what do I want in my life? Like maybe he has like a friend with benefits right now, and that's just convenient and but it's not like his passion and blah blah blah. But like you're someone who's like really developing and like strong and beautiful and like ready and healed and all that stuff. So like you would take precedence over someone who's just like rambling, kind of hoe, kind of whatever, like whoever he's with right now. Sorry. Anyway, so you're walking down the street looking good as usual, right? And this guy is like fits the bill of like what you would want in a relationship, and you just go up to him and say like hi, you know. And then you know what you've done in that moment? You've like created a whole new book by just saying hi. And like he can't escape that book. Like you created this moment, and that moment is like forever. And now it's like everybody has to deal with the fact that this is real. No. You know what I mean? Like just walking by, there's no book. Like there's no future to it, right? And you're not even being weird by saying hi. Like people say hi. Like I'm from the 70s and 80s and stuff, and people say hi to strangers like all the time. It's like it's weird that people don't say hi now. So I'm just saying you're like it's like you're approaching them like I already know you, but not in like a creepy way. But you can psych yourself up like the reason I like this person is because like kind of already know I already have this sense of relaxation about them, and like it's like we already know each other, so I'm just gonna be like, hey, and then this whole thing has started. And so like you can like allow that moment of chaos that you could like call awkward that isn't awkward. It's just like the power of change. Okay. So if you see that in a different light and you just like breathe through it, it's like it's like the SpongeBob episode, the surfing one, which I think is like the best episode in that whole show, where the surfer's just like, just keep breathing, and it's like exactly like just keep breathing through this moment of what some people would call awkward, but you call my creativity, like um, and just like allow that recognition to take place, and then you can be bold and say like, whatever, like, I know you're having lunch, I just want to give you my number. Something like that. And then there you go. You know what I mean? And there you changed your life. Like, and if for some reason that guy's like too up in his, I was gonna say something else, but like up in his head about whatever in his life, like you have trained yourself to be like go after what you want, which is like will serve you the next time or whatever. But I feel like it could work the first time. Anyway, so that's what I would do. So I guess that means like not putting so much of your time and effort into online dating if that's what you're doing. Online dating is useful, I found, by like figuring out what you even like. Like I had no idea that I had like a type, but apparently I do. And so like maybe you've learned a thing or two about yourself, or like, you know, uh, and that's useful moving forward in real life. Okay, so I feel like you're the only way you'll have, it's a super long answer, but like the relationship aspect will come in when you meet someone in real life by like actually like breaking the fourth wall and being like hi to someone. And it's a compliment. What's the worst they can say? Like, a beautiful woman approached me today. Like, whatever. That's a good thing. Okay. Uh, okay. So bright. Um. Okay. Good. Um. Also, like, I don't know if this is like overkill, Queen G, but like, I know, like, I'm talking right now, but I don't talk that much, like, in life. Like, I don't have a job where I'm like, always on the phone or taking meetings and stuff like that. So, because my work is like this, like doing distance healing over Skype and whatever. So, if you're not used to like using your voice, you can practice. You can practice around the house, like going like, hey, or like if you see your cat or dog, it's just like, hey. And so when it comes to it, you won't be like, like how to say like hi, if that's the thing. Okay, right. Okay, can I get a message from the universe? What do I need to know? That's a good like broad question. Okay, I feel like some like alert kind of messages off the bat here. Okay, so it seems like you're dealing with a lot. Okay, jeez. Okay, just let me like settle into this. It might be coming from like family or something like. There's a lot of like stress, like a lot of aggressive like talk, or like there's some people who like aren't that enlightened around you who are like really throwing you some challenging energy that's almost like unsafe. I would say like whether it's family or just like people close to you. I don't know who's like super close to you who feel like they can do that. I don't know. I really don't like the feeling of. I feel like if you just go like, that's who they are and that's who they need to be right now. They're going through something and they're projecting it on me. And I can't really help them with that, and I can't change. I can't like be their supplicant to like make them feel better. I can't like let them stand on my shoulders or whatever it is. Like, uh, you really need to like sidestep that and not. Maybe it's a matter of not answering the phone to them or like not replying to like texts or emails or something like that. Just having some like you can even say like, oh, I have the flu. And like right now with COVID and stuff, like no one wants to be around a sick person. I mean, I shouldn't. It's not like funny. COVID isn't funny, but saying that you have a cold or something like is funny in the circumstance of like you're healthy and you just need some me time. Uh, so, and it's an effective way of getting some time away from people who are like acting crazy. So just say like you're under the weather, you know, you maybe have a cold or something like that. If it's not gonna like get you in trouble with work or whatever. But I'm just saying like find a way to be like, oh, I'm really focused on work. This is what I feel strongly. Like I'm really focused on work right now. I don't really have like the time or the energy to deal with this. And like everyone can kind of respect work because it's like what pays the bills and all that jazz. Like it's important. So just be like, yeah, I'm just like swamped at work. Or no, swamped sounds like something people would say on like online dating or something like that. But like, uh, I have to focus on work or something like that. And you will actually get some peace from that because people at work perhaps are not trying to attack you, and like you're a functioning team. You know, like it feels like. Whereas this private life thing or what, it just feels like I don't even like it feels scary to me actually, like because it's just so aggressive, like either the language or the intention. I just really not into it. So I just want to like find like where's your corner of peace here with that. You just really have to like not don't associate like if someone's being aggressive and horrible to you, that's not you. That's just like what they're doing. And some people need to be awful. Like I had, I had an ex-boyfriend who was like had a double life, and it was just like nuts. And he felt the need to like lie to me and like live this insane other life that was like not acceptable to me. And it's who he needed to be. He needed to be like a horrible person to figure something out about himself and like no judgment, but like not in my space. Thank you very much. So you don't have to judge the horrible people. You just have to sidestep the danger and don't take it personally. Don't just because someone's being horrible doesn't mean like you ask them to be horrible. It's just like something about you triggers them to make these bad choices. So you might as well like get a little distance and stay on your whatever like mission or bag or whatever people say. Like just stay stable. Um, and then they'll kind of like because they're really codependent and narcissistic, they'll find some other supply to like suffocate and like drain their energy and just let them go. You know what I mean? Like so whether that's a toxic friend, family member, uh, partner, whatever, just you really need to like find your safety and keep your stability going right now, and let that person kind of wander off. Okay. That's okay. I hope you're okay, right? And okay. So that message was for Bright. Okay, I'll just answer. Oh, you're welcome. I'll answer one more question because that's the only more question that I have left. So it's like, how does Eve grandmother feel towards Jade? Wait, are you talking about other people? Okay. Okay. It's like mental gymnastics, like trying to enter these people's lives and like see what's up. Okay. I mean, I feel like Jay is kind of like a lazy person. I feel like E's grandmother is like a optimistic, like vibrant, kind of healthy person. I mean, a lot good people can see the good. Like it's like I can see the good in anyone, but do they want to be good? Like, like I can see the good in my ex-boyfriend, but does he want to be good? No. So it's like, why embellish? So I feel like the grandmother, because she's a good person, can see the good in Jay, but does he want to be good? And the answer is no. Like, no. I think this person gets away with a lot and has like a lot of secrets. And like, if they have like a girlfriend or wife, like they have other stuff going on too. And just all kinds of nonsense. You can I mean, you know how like if people drink a lot or uh, you can see it in their skin and stuff. So sometimes you can just look at someone and kind of guesstimate their party level or their like running around level. I mean, probably right, probably right about your guess. And I think just at a glance, you can kind of just see where he's at. So, and it's not like a good place. And I think it's like the pattern has been set, and he is not like a spiritual person. So he's not going to change. In fact, it's just going to kind of harden into like a marble pillar of like nonsense. So I would say the grandmother's, God bless her, she sees the best in people, but that doesn't make a person be good. It just means that you're like awesomely it means that you have a broader spectrum of like information coming at you going like, oh well, they're being this today, but they could, you know this particular guy, Jay, is not gonna have like the big like turnaround moment and become like the prodigal son or whatever. No, I don't think so. Okay. Um, so I'll answer Ivan's question. Will my ex reach out again? And then I'm gonna like send some good energy and then tune off after. Okay, will my ex reach out again, Ivan? I feel like he'll reach out again, but I feel like he has like a violent side or like just like rough or like in a way that if I feel like I don't like it, maybe you don't like it because I'm like picking up on your energy. And so it's not like me being judgy, perhaps. Maybe it is, but I just feel like he's really like not not spiritual, like just looking at like what is real, which some people call the Matrix or whatever, or like, like the real world is kind of like old creations, and we have the choice of like starting to work on our new creations, or we can look at all the old shit that's around us all the time. So like he's looking at the old creations and going like, this is the only reality. And if you're okay with dealing with someone who has a pretty basic mind like that, if he's like really hot and you like him, like enjoy it, But if you want something else that's more like beautiful, you have the choice of changing your vibe and like attracting something different. Um, so yeah, if you're like sure your ex will write back or something like maybe in 2 weeks or something like that, but like if you were like I was saying before about like your life as a book that you start, like by taking a new action, um, you can be like, is this a character in my best book? Is this guy like, do I even want him in my book? Do I want to turn the page? And it's like, I mean, this isn't like an 18 plus video or whatever, but I want to say, I'm not going to say stuff that I want to say right now because it's not really like how I want my channel to be, but you get my message about like, that's kind of his approach to you is like on the physical, I feel like. And his whole life is like physical. And it's like you're tuning into like a psychic talking about what's possible. So you obviously like are open to more things in your life than just the physical. There's more to life. So it's like have faith in yourself that like you can create like miracles in your life if you align with miracle energy, which is like being open to change, like being open to getting an insight and following it. Like miracles are just like fast change. It's like whether someone gets healed quicker than normal, it's a miracle. It's like it just was quicker than it would have been. You know what I mean? Like it's so are you open to fast change? Yes or no? So are you open to miracles? Are you open to having the book of your life that you really want to be in? And you have to be like firing some characters from your book if you don't want them to be writing the pages of your life. So it's all fine and good if an ex is coming back going like, hey, you know, emoji, whatever. Like, is that a page in your book? And like, are you that like thirsty that you need that experience right now? Like, or do you get more pleasure out of like creating this beautiful life and then bragging about it in your old age? Like, oh my God, I was so brave and self-loving. Like, I just decided to like allow miracle energy into my life and just be open to change and like there's so many stories of people who had nothing and then had faith and just like knew themselves and followed their passions and just created empires out of that. Like that could be any of us at any moment if we choose to. And there's enough abundance in the universe for us all to have like amazing empires. And like if we're good people, then they're kind of all intersected and working together in a way that like everyone's getting served, you know what I mean? So it's like don't feel selfish about wanting great things for yourself. You're not taking from anyone by doing that. Okay. I see. Well, thank you. That's nice of you. Okay, so I'll just see Hi, Jenny. Do you have a question? And then I'm just gonna, after your question, if you have one, then I'm gonna tune off for now. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and it's been fun talking to you. Okay, I don't see a question, so I'll just like come on another random time. And I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll just like send you guys some love from the universe that will just help things feel lighter. Yeah, so hopefully that'll like sort of soften everything and let you see that like things are good. There's always like some good. Um, PK, how did I learn this skill? Well, I'll just like briefly go over it. I'm actually writing a book about that right now. Hopefully I'll finish it by September sometime. But how do I learn this skill? Well, I think like anyone that has intuition, like you get little moments throughout your life where you're like, what the hell? Like, what? Like what? You get like I just, when I was a kid, I just get this, I'd have to stop walking because I'd get like this sort of HD little video of like some situation that was like, what? And then it turned out to be like kind of mental preparation for something that would happen that would have been maybe too hard to deal with. But I got like a heads up of like, this is how it feels to be in this situation, and like this is how you kind of get out of it. And so it happened to me like only for like life and death situations throughout my childhood, teens, and 20s. And then occasionally, just for entertainment purposes, I would get like psychic readings, like maybe once every 3 years or something like that, like just like whatever. And then sometimes they tell me like, oh, your hands are glowing, and I'd be like, well, whatever. Or like, oh, I can see you being a healer. I'd be like, I don't think so, because I was a bit like not angry at the world, but just like a bit introvert, because like people had been, not that nice and whatever. So I was just like, why would I deal with strangers? I'm like, no. And anyway, but then people just kept telling me that, and I'd be like what? And it really didn't interest me because I was into music and art and stuff like that. So um, after I had my second child, uh, I had a case of kidney stones, and it was, if you've ever had natural childbirth and kidney stones, it's kind of the same feeling, except kidney stones, there's no like breaks in between. So it's like really painful. And then SARS happened, so like you couldn't get medical treatment or anything. Anyway, so then I looked in the back of like a health food magazine and just looked at like who looks the most chill of these healers. And I didn't really know much about healing. I just wanted to feel better. And I chose this like really mellow looking, like glowing looking, like blonde woman. And I went to her and she did Reiki on me. And like it was like what? It was so effective. It was nuts. Like in 45 minutes, all my symptoms were gone. I had this like vision. I felt like I was watching like an angel like go put her hand in my body and like break up the stones. And then I had no symptoms after, no pain, and I felt like complete mental peace for 3 months straight, unbroken. And I was like, "What did you do?" Like, and so I asked her, like, "Can I learn from you?" And then I learned from her, and then by practicing every day, tuning into my spiritual skills or sensitivities, it just got clearer and clearer and clearer to the point where I wasn't just getting emergency messages. I could get like whatever message. So it's really something. It's like your body, like you could just be a couch potato or train for the Olympics. So like at one point I was just like psychically just a couch potato until like 30, 33 or something. And then I trained for the Olympics and it was a good thing to like occupy my intellect, like when I was raising three kids, because you don't read like books and stuff. You're just always like meditating or doing distance healing and stuff. So that's how it went from just being like, watch out for that car to like, I can tell you about your life or whatever. You just have to practice it. Um, okay, wait, there's more stuff here. Um, Thanks for subscribing. Okay, okay. All right, I'll just answer two more questions and I really gotta like check out. How will I know? Okay, you were asking that question before. How will I know if I can do it? Well, we all have the same equipment. Like we all have the human body. And so if we're not getting high and drunk all the time and we have clarity of thought, it's easier to use your intuition because your intuition runs on like your natural system. Okay. And you have to like get in the thing that I tell people. I made like a really brief TikTok about it. I is like what I said in that TikTok is like learning to meditate and expanding your spiritual powers is like Google Maps. Like you're non-judgmentally going around and just like going like, okay, that was that thought. That's that thought. That's this corner. What I'm picking up looks like that. And just like, even if it's crazy, like, what? You're just like, you're just Google Map. It's just taking a photo and on to the next street. You know what I mean? It's not judgmental. It's not Yelp. It's not like, this corner of my mind was so effed up. I'm never going back. The food was terrible. It's not like that. So like uh, you're mapping another part of your consciousness non-judgmentally. So the more you can like do that, just be like, okay, this gentle feeling that I don't really understand, I accept is that. And then you move on. And then you're getting comfortable in that arena. And yeah, it takes a little bit of work and it takes like a different kind of mind than we're trained to have. Because like in school and everything, we're not trained to like, okay, kids, for 2 hours, we're just going to space out. Like that doesn't happen, but that should happen. Anyway. So anyone can do it, all right? If you try. You're welcome. All right, wait, just 1 second. And then just okay. All right, I'll just answer your question really quick, Josie, and then I'll go back to AP and Jenny Farmer. I feel like you want to reach out to them quicker, and the news you'll get is like they're in something, but it's like you can't get mad at that. Think of other people, other partners, your partners, as like trainers at a life gym. And maybe this trainer's gonna kick their ass and get them in shape, Like, so don't stress about it. Don't just live your life. Like focus on you. Okay, so AP, how do you feel I'll marry or meet my husband to be soon? Do you feel okay, so AP, yeah, but I feel like you could. And maybe they might not be like how you thought they, like, how you can meet someone and they're like, they've got mustard on their shirt and they're like in a hurry and they're like in a bad mood or what, like when you first meet them, they might not be like and here he is like on his knee with a ring. Like you might just be like, you know, like he's cool, but he's like, what the hell? So something like that. So just be open. It's like don't be super judgmental. Just be like, I'm happy I met that person. See where it goes, kind of thing. Like you don't have to jump. You don't have to do a swan dive into each person when you meet them. Just be like, oh, I'm glad I know that person. We'll see what's up. And then that can lead to marriage. Okay, Jenny Farmer, what information about my love relationship would be most helpful for me at this time? That's nice. I like open questions. Okay, I feel like Jenny, I feel like you need to take stock. You need to make like a pro and con list. I don't know if you're a Virgo like me, but like for list making would be very Virgo thing to do. Anyway, so it's like things I've done that led to good times in relationships. Things I've done that were not so cool. Like take stock so you're not repeating the same pattern over and over again and making the same mistakes and like suddenly you're 60 and you're like, oh my god, I'm still doing this. Like so really take stock and it's like how do I act in a relationship or on a date and like how do I want to fine tune that? Like you're in charge of your character. Like it's like it's like okay, I'm gonna change my outfit today. I'm gonna be like, put freckles on my face or what, glasses or a hat or whatever. Like I'm gonna change it up. Like I have control over. Uh, it's like now that I'm like older, I'm like 53, so like now food is not my best friend. I can't just eat whatever I want. And so it's really easy for me to, if I just look at pasta, it's like I gained 10 pounds. So like I have to like consciously go like I want to fit in the clothes I have, and it requires like me to like change my weave sometimes to like be the person that show up in the way that I want to show up. So I feel like you need to like really consciously take stock of like how things have been going, stuff other people do that you're not into, that you won't accept anymore, things that you're open to. It's like do the accounting of relationship stuff and you'll learn so much from that, I feel like, and it'll really help you. Um, okay. So Josie, um, yeah, like focus on yourself, like fall in love with yourself again, like pretend like pretend like you go out in the street and you walk by you and you're like, oh my god, she's so cool. Or like, oh, she looks a bit sad today. But you're like kind of falling in love with that person that's you. And it's like, what would she like to do today? Or like, you know, like today I totally reorganized the bathroom closet. So it's just like, and it's just like, it's life changing. It's like now when I go in there, it's not just like crazy. It's like perfect, and it's like that's who I am. My life is perfect, and it's like I took that effort to like love myself up enough to be like my apartment is 5 stars. So I need you to like really just like have an affair with yourself in that way. Just like, oh my god, who is she? Who is she? Like, like oh my god, like just get overwhelmed with like how cool you are. And you might find that you're not like getting into that codependent vibe of like, you know, like vampire-ish, like I need him to validate how awesome I am. Like, maybe they're an X for a reason, and like you're missing out on like the universe is basically knows you and loves you, and they're sending a parade of stuff that you asked for, and you're walking by it all the time. And it's like, how about if you walk down the street and it's like, thank you know, thank you for making that person, or thank you for having this like hot guy walk by me. Like, thank you, you know, and the more you're into that receiving mode, the more something like good will happen. Um, mm, 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 mm. Um, okay, I keep saying this is the last question or whatever, but 100%, because I got a life to live over here. Um, I'll answer Kayanat's question and then I'm gonna stop. Um, okay. Oh, I've answered your questions before. Okay. 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 So we've talked about this person before. Um, I feel like Chab is like we say in Quebec, like sweet on X, like because everything's like bilingual here. But I don't feel like this is a person who's like very loving. Like they might be cool and like everybody knows them or whatever, but like that doesn't make them like awesome. And I feel like, really going deep and like discovering yourself and like I want more, you know, like a lot of people tuning in, and you're gonna have something a lot better that will surprise uh Chad and like other people, and good. You know, it's like, you know, sorry, you know, you're not doing it to spite them, but it's just like you do you, and I'm gonna like have my glow up, have high expectations for my life, and like be grateful when I see that the universe is like bringing stuff that I like. I'm gonna be like, you know me, like you love me, and you know me, universe. Thank you, you know. And then when you get the courage up to like say, you know, to someone like, you know, hi or whatever, like then you're accepting that reward, you know, for being like alert and like being in the moment. History is so hard. But so just be like, thank you, you know, like just say thank you for the experience of knowing that person, Chad, and just being like, I learned a lot from what did I learn from that, you know? Maybe I need to have higher self-esteem, or like what do I really want? Like what is the experience? How do you want to feel? Like it's not about like how cool other people are. It's like how do you want to feel in yourself, you know, like, you know, and if no one is up in your face appreciating you, you appreciate you. Like, my God, we have this life to live. It's so amazing. Like, so much can happen if we are like in the moment and like allow for a miracle. And what if you found out when you like on your deathbed that like, oh, sorry, we forgot to mention that like life is just like miracle energy, and you've spent your whole life like pushing it away. Sorry. So how about we start like just living from that point of view like right now? And yeah, if you guys have any like cool success stories, you write to me and let me know. And it was really nice hanging out with you and sharing this time and this positivity. And I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, have a good day.